Emma just got her first job. She is excited but also scared. She keeps thinking, what if I fail? Her heart races with nervousness. She wants to do well and make her mother proud. She tries to hide her fear behind a smile. Her hands are cold and her stomach feels tight. She looks in the mirror and whispers, "You can do this." But her eyes show her worries. Her mother notices her nervousness. She gently hugs Emma and says, "Believe in yourself. You are stronger than you think." Emma feels a little better. Her mother's words give her courage. Emma takes a deep breath and heads out the door. She knows it won't be easy, but she is ready to try. Her heart is full of fear and hope. She decides to be brave and face the challenge. Emma arrives at the cafe early. She stands outside looking at the busy place. People are laughing and talking inside. The smell of coffee fills the air. She feels both excited and scared. She walks in and looks around. Cafe is cozy but crowded. There are customers everywhere and the staff is moving quickly. Emma feels small and out of place. Her heart beats fast. Mr. Johnson, the manager, approaches her. He is tall with a serious face. "You must be Emma," he says in a firm voice. Emma nods nervously. She tries to smile, but her lips tremble. Mr. Johnson's eyes are strict. "We expect hard work and no mistakes," he says. Emma feels the pressure. She wants to impress him but fears she might disappoint. Her confidence wavers. Mr. Johnson introduces Emma to Lisa. Lisa has a warm smile and kind eyes. "Welcome to the team," she says cheerfully. Emma feels relieved. Lisa's friendly attitude eases her nerves. Lisa shows Emma around the cafe. She explains the tasks and routines. Emma listens carefully, trying to remember everything. Lisa is patient and helpful. Emma feels grateful for her support. Emma watches Lisa work. She is fast and confident. Customers like her and she is always smiling. Emma admires Lisa's skills. She hopes to learn quickly and be just as good. Lisa notices Emma's nervousness. "Don't worry, everyone is scared on their first day," she says kindly. Emma laughs softly. She feels less alone. Lisa's words give her hope. Emma meets Jack, the barista. He is focused on making coffee. His hands move quickly and precisely. Emma is impressed by his skill. But Jack barely looks at her. He seems serious and distant. She tries to say hello, but Jack only nods. His face is expressionless. Emma feels uncomfortable. She wonders if he doesn't like her. A knot of worry forms in her stomach. Lisa notices Emma's concern. She laughs and says, "Don't worry about Jack. He's just shy." Emma feels relieved. She realizes Jack isn't rude, just quiet. Her fear starts to fade. Emma watches Jack work from a distance. She wants to learn his skills. Even though he is quiet, he is talented. Emma decides to earn his respect through hard work. Mr. Johnson calls Emma to his office. She feels nervous as she follows him. His serious face makes her anxious. She stands straight, trying to look confident. Her hands are shaking. Mr. Johnson explains the rules of the cafe. His voice is firm and clear. "We expect hard work and no mistakes," he says. Emma nods quickly. She wants to meet his expectations. He talks about the busy hours and high standards. Emma feels the pressure growing. She realizes this job is more difficult than she thought. She feels scared but determined to try her best. Mr. Johnson's eyes are sharp. "I don't tolerate laziness," he warns. Emma swallows nervously. She promises herself to work hard. She doesn't want to disappoint him or lose the job. Lisa begins teaching Emma how to make coffee. She explains each step patiently. Emma watches carefully, her eyes wide with curiosity. She wants to learn everything perfectly. Her hands feel sweaty. It's Emma's turn to try. She picks up the milk jug with shaky hands. She pours the milk slowly, trying to copy Lisa's movements. But her hands tremble, and some milk spills on the counter. Emma's face turns red with embarrassment. She looks at Lisa expecting a scold. But Lisa smiles kindly. "It's okay, Emma. It takes practice," she says. Emma feels a little better. Emma tries again, more carefully this time. She is still nervous but more determined. She follows Lisa's advice and improves with each attempt. She feels a small spark of confidence. Emma receives her first order. A man asks for a large cappuccino. She writes it down quickly. Her heart beats fast with excitement. She wants to get everything right. She goes to Jack and gives him the order slip. Jack looks at it and frowns. "What size?" he asks. Emma's face turns pale. She realizes she forgot to ask the size. She feels embarrassed and looks at the customer. "I'm sorry, sir. What size would you like?" she asks nervously. The man smiles kindly. "Large, please." Emma writes it down properly. She feels foolish but grateful for the customer's patience. She learns her first lesson. Always ask for details. She promises herself to be more careful next time. Emma takes the cappuccino to the table. She holds the cup carefully. Her hands are steady, but her heart is racing. She is nervous but excited to serve her first drink. She walks slowly to avoid accidents. But as she reaches the table, her foot catches a chair leg. She trips forward, and the coffee spills on the table. The cup wobbles dangerously. The customer jumps back to avoid the spill. His phone gets a few drops of coffee. Emma's face turns red with shame. "I'm so sorry," she says quickly, grabbing napkins. The customer is surprised but calm. "It's okay," he says kindly. Lisa rushes over to help Emma clean. "It happens to everyone," she whispers. Emma feels embarrassed but grateful for Lisa's support. Emma serves another customer at the counter. He orders a coffee and pays with a big bill. Emma takes the money and puts it in the cash register. She smiles and says, "Thank you." The customer waits, but Emma is already serving the next person. He looks confused and says, "Excuse me, my change?" Emma's heart skips a beat. She forgot to give the change. Her face turns red with embarrassment. She quickly apologizes. "I'm so sorry." She counts the change nervously, her hands shaking. The customer smiles. "No problem." Emma feels relieved. She realizes her mistake and feels silly. She promises herself to be more careful next time. She learns another lesson. Always give change before moving on to the next customer. It's lunchtime and the cafe gets very busy. The line grows long and Emma feels nervous. She tries to take orders quickly, but the crowd makes her feel dizzy. Her heart races. She writes the orders hurriedly, trying to keep up. Her handwriting becomes messy. She worries about making mistakes. She feels the pressure of the growing line behind her. Some customers look impatient. Emma feels their eyes watching her. She tries to move faster but makes more mistakes. Her hands shake as she writes, and her mind feels confused. Lisa notices Emma's struggle. She steps in and helps take orders. "Take a deep breath, Emma," she says calmly. Emma follows her advice and feels a little more in control. Emma delivers an order to a table. The customer looks at the cup and frowns. "I asked for tea, not coffee," he says, sounding annoyed. Emma's heart sinks. She made another mistake. She feels embarrassed and her face turns red. "I'm so sorry. I'll fix it right away," she says nervously. She takes the wrong drink back to the counter. Her hands are shaking. Jack looks at the cup and shakes his head. "You need to be more careful," he says seriously. Emma feels a knot of shame in her stomach. She feels like she is failing. She prepares the correct drink and brings it to the customer. She apologizes again, feeling guilty. The customer accepts it but looks annoyed. Emma feels terrible and wants to cry. After the complaint, Emma feels anxious. Her hands are cold and her heart is racing. She keeps thinking about her mistakes. "Am I really good enough for this job?" she wonders. She watches Lisa and Jack work so smoothly. They are fast and confident. Emma feels slow and clumsy in comparison. She starts to doubt herself. Her confidence is fading. The cafe stays busy, and the noise overwhelms her. She feels like she can't breathe. Her mind is filled with negative thoughts. She feels trapped and wants to run away. Emma takes a deep breath and tries to calm down. But the fear stays inside her. She thinks about quitting. "Maybe I'm just not good at this," she whispers to herself. During a break, Emma sits alone in the kitchen. She feels sad and defeated. Tears fill her eyes, but she holds them back. She doesn't want anyone to see her cry. Lisa walks in and notices Emma's sad face. "Are you okay?" she asks gently. Emma hesitates but then nods. She admits, "I feel like I'm failing. I keep making mistakes." Lisa sits beside her and listens carefully. She smiles kindly and says, "Everyone makes mistakes, especially on the first day." Emma looks at Lisa with surprise. "Really? Even you?" she asks. Lisa laughs and shares her story. "On my first day, I spilled coffee on a customer's lap." Emma's eyes widen. She didn't expect that. They laugh together. Emma feels less alone. Lisa puts her arm around Emma's shoulder. "Don't be too hard on yourself," she says. "You're learning and that takes time." Emma listens closely. Lisa's words feel warm and comforting. "You are stronger than you think," Lisa continues. "I see how hard you're trying. That's what matters." Emma's heart feels lighter. She feels a spark of hope inside her. Lisa looks Emma in the eyes. "The important thing is to keep going. Don't give up just because it's hard." Emma nods, feeling motivated. She realizes that mistakes are part of learning. She takes a deep breath and wipes her tears. "Thank you, Lisa," she says with a small smile. She feels more confident. She decides to face her fears and try again. Emma returns to the counter with new determination. She takes the orders carefully, writing each detail clearly. Her hands are steady, and her heart feels calmer. She moves with more confidence. She goes to the cash register and counts the change slowly. She double-checks each amount. This time she doesn't forget the change. The customers smile and thank her. She feels proud. When serving drinks, Emma walks carefully. She keeps her back straight and her eyes on the tray. She avoids obstacles and places the drinks gently on the tables. No spills this time. She looks at Lisa, who gives her a thumbs up. Emma's heart fills with pride. She did it. She is learning and improving. She feels stronger and ready for the next challenge. The cafe stays busy, and Maria, the cook, needs help. She calls Emma into the kitchen. "Can you cut some fruits?" she asks. Emma nods eagerly, wanting to be useful. Maria shows Emma how to slice the fruits neatly. Emma watches carefully and copies her movements. Her hands are steady. She focuses on each slice, trying to make them perfect. She works slowly but carefully. The fruits look fresh and beautiful. Maria watches her and nods with approval. "Good job, Emma," she says with a smile. Emma's heart fills with pride. After finishing, Emma arranges the fruits on plates. She feels happy and useful. Maria thanks her for the help. Emma feels like she is finally part of the team. A customer makes a complicated order. He wants a special latte with extra foam and caramel. Emma feels nervous but determined. She writes down every detail clearly. She double-checks the order slip before giving it to Jack. He reads it and nods. "Perfect," he says. Emma feels a wave of relief. Her attention to detail is paying off. Emma watches Jack prepare the drink. She admires his skill and learns from his technique. She feels inspired to improve. She wants to be just as good one day. When the drink is ready, Emma carries it to the table. Her hands are steady and her heart is calm. The customer tastes it and smiles. "This is perfect," he says. Emma's face lights up with joy. At the end of the day, Mr. Johnson calls Emma to his office. Her heart races with anxiety. She remembers her mistakes. She worries about getting scolded. Her hands feel cold. She stands nervously in front of his desk. Mr. Johnson looks at her seriously. "You made mistakes today," he says. Emma's shoulders drop. She feels ashamed and defeated. But then Mr. Johnson's face softens. "But you learned quickly and didn't give up," he continues. Emma's eyes widen in surprise. "That's what I look for in an employee," he says with a nod. He praises her hard work and determination. "Keep this attitude and you will succeed," he says. Emma's heart fills with joy and relief. She feels proud and more confident. After talking to Mr. Johnson, Emma reflects on her day. She thinks about her mistakes and how she overcame them. She realizes that every mistake taught her something valuable. She remembers Lisa's words of encouragement and Jack's quiet support. She feels grateful for her team. They helped her learn and grow. She feels connected to them. Emma also remembers the customers' smiles and kind words. She understands the importance of good service. It's not just about coffee. It's about making people happy. She feels proud of herself for not giving up. She faced her fears and learned from her failures. She realizes that she is stronger than she thought. Her confidence is growing. Emma walks home feeling exhausted but happy. Her feet hurt and her body is tired. But her heart is full of pride. She completed her first day at work. She enters the house and sees her mother waiting. "How was your day?" her mom asks eagerly. Emma smiles and says, "It was hard, but I did it." They hug tightly. Emma tells her mom about the mistakes and challenges. They laugh together about the spilled coffee. Her mom listens with love and support. Emma feels understood and accepted. Before going to bed, Emma looks at herself in the mirror. She sees a stronger version of herself. She whispers, "I can do this." She is ready for tomorrow's challenges.